selling business only after he does customer discovery. You guys get it? For the same technology, same product, you can be in the kit business, solution business, kilowatt-hour business. And you can see that the business characteristics or the company characteristics are completely different. When you're selling solutions, you're going to need application engineers, installers, maintainers, etc. When you're selling a kit, you make the cheapest kit and manuals and self-installing or whatever it is, and ship the kit and it's done. And if you're in the kilowatt-hour SaaS business, you better have a lot of money so that you can install your, 1 lakh systems, start generating it, and then you convince people to buy electric bulbs and refrigerators and so on to motivate them to use your electricity. Right? So completely different businesses, companies, depending on what you sell. Yeah.
So from your explanation, it seems like the business outsourcing business that comes under solution sale.
Business outsourcing, well, let's figure out for whom it's a solution sell. So if say a big company like IBM, not IBM, let's take Intel or something. Say they outsource chip design to Infosys or something, or TCS or something. Right? So TCS or Infosys can decide whether they want to make it into a solution sell or they want to make it into a one-time transaction, or whether to even make it something where they basically provide a service. They can make 3 different things. They can have 3 different business models depending on what will win the business. Right? If Infosys wanted to make it into a solution sell, how will they do it? Yes, that's one point. You'll be in touch with the company properly, yeah.
The people from both the companies will work together and finalize the specifications of the chip that they need, and they will go on improving taking feedback from.
Yeah, so basically when you're doing solution selling, you will understand the customer's needs even before the customer knows his needs. You will come up with a proposal for the customer as to what next project he should be doing. And then who's going to do the project? You are going to do the project since you proposed it. That the customer needs to do this problem. Then you solve the problem, and then you actually install it in the customer's environment, and then you maintain it. So as far as the customer is concerned, he just sees the benefits. He doesn't see the headaches, the problems, the complications, he doesn't have to do the planning, he doesn't have to do the management. Hey, I'm going to give you the full solution. You don't have to do anything. You just go and play golf, or you go and enjoy your time, or you go and make more money by selling TV services to cable TV services to everybody, because that's your key value add. Your value add is not making the satellite video distribution more effective. Your job and your value add is getting more customers to buy your service. So you tell him, I'm going to be a solutions provider for you. And I'm going to give you the full service. And the big advantage of doing that is, the customer has no choice. You've got a lock on the customer. And if you look at one of the most successful solutions companies in the world, and Indians are now become better and better and better, is IBM Global Services. They actually go ahead and take over the entire data center of the company. They don't sell a disk drive, they don't sell a router, they don't sell a software package. They say we'll take responsibility for the entire data center. And that's a solution sell they do. And that's why they get a 10-year contract for $10 billion from these big companies like Procter & Gamble and so on. annuity. You make money forever. But obviously, you've got to get the pricing right. So, anyway, so the next phase after you've done your marketing, packaging, and all that stuff is to get out of the building and actually do the sale. And as you do the sale, every customer will tell you a few things that you're going to incorporate into your presentation for the next guy. So, first time you try to make a licensed product sale, and you find that people are really going to buy only on a monthly rental basis, like a software as a service, SaaS basis. So when you go to the next customer, you change your slide overnight in the hotel, and suddenly you're a SaaS company, and you walk in and say, I'm a SaaS vendor, and I sell my product as a SaaS. And guess what? You're more likely to get his attention because he says, oh, this guy understands what's needed for me to buy his product. So you have changed your product in order to make it more palatable to the next guy, right? And so you keep refining your product presentation until finally, like, everything just works well. You also end up validating your roadmap because the second customer, you will already know who the influencers should be, who the economic buyers, who the saboteur is going to be. You know all of that stuff. You know what the payment plan should be. You know all of that stuff. So you make your sales roadmap even more precise, and also validate, oh, the saboteur is always this guy, or the guys who need to be influenced are always the QA guy and the VP of engineering. Predictability of the sales model is funnel is again validated. And the most important thing is you'll be able to validate that, yep, I can get a sale. I can always get a sale if I do this. I can make it repeatable, I can make it, and I can scale it, and I can make it profitable in the real world, right? So you can validate your business model. Okay, so essentially, by the time you've done your fourth or fifth or seventh sale, you'll get pretty comfortable that you know how this business is going to work and how you're going to succeed. So you develop and refine your product and positioning, and then in the industry you can go to something called industry pundits and analysts. These guys are semiconductor industry analysts. They know everything that's going on at Intel, AMD, Samsung, TSMC, all the fabs. They just understand the whole industry. They're basically Harvard MBAs or MBAs from Stanford. These are MBAs from Ireland. These are all the people who are gurus in semiconductor industry, steel industry, power generation industry. So these are all gurus. And so you talk to them and say, look, I'm trying to provide, I think I've got something that's really good that will dramatically improve the cost performance of this particular area. How big is this market? So you say that, your opportunities are in Kazakhstan, because in Kazakhstan, they're going, Shell is going to put in 100 oil drilling rigs. So, so they have access to all this information where you might be very limited in what you know. And then, so once you do that, you are ready to go to the next step. Oh, not that good at all. Just go on basically there are industry analyst companies called the Gartner Group. Just search for industry analyst companies, and there are 20 will show up. And they'll all say that we are experts in these 5 industries. We are experts in these 5 industries. So typically, there'll be 2 to 3 industry analyst companies per industry segment. And what's good is that every 3 months or 6 months, they write a report which you can use for preparing your marketing, total available market, so share of market kind of analysis. So the next final thing is to go back to your BMC and say, okay, did everything work? Because what is BMC? 9 parameters that interact with each other. So that's all it is. 9 parameters that interact with each other. And by doing all the validation that we've done, you're trying to make those 9 parameters work together, hang in together. So there are all these questions they were asked in the area of value proposition, in customer segments, in channels, customer relationships. So everywhere there are questions to be that you can answer, and this is kind of a quick checklist of three questions for each of these particular things. So to kind of summarize, these are the key things that you'll be doing in customer validation. One is, how do you take your business model canvas and create a sales roadmap? Sales roadmap was those 10 or 15 questions, right, that you were supposed to answer. Next is, once you have that sales roadmap, how are you going to build your sales force, which is your distribution channel? Are you going to do it with your direct sales people? Are you going to do it with sales reps? Are you going to do it with distributors? So how is your sales force that's going to communicate your message going to execute that sales roadmap? And of course, founders must lead these validation teams, and validation really happens at different speeds. What it means is that, in some markets or some customers, you get the data very quickly. Other places, you get differently. Make early sales to early evangelists. So this is extremely important because there are people who are just good people out there. I know when you first start selling, you'll find, how come everybody is bad to me? How come everybody's a jerk? So 98 out of 100 people are jerks, right? They will just not be interested in talking to an entrepreneur who's got a better product. But 2%, and this is a fact, 2% are good people out there. And those are called early evangelists. And these people, I don't know why, but they just like to help people who have got enthusiasm for new technology, new product, a better way to do things. So that 2% always exists. So as an entrepreneur, you cannot be disappointed if 98 people say no, because the next 2 people are going to be early evangelists who are going to help you with your entire company building process, right? So these early evangelists are very key to find, and we'll look at that in the next slide. And the key is that when you're validating your product, don't spend all your money. Because if you waste it on the first 98 people, then you do not have the effort and resources left to go in and work with the early evangelists to get everything done. Obviously, accountants don't run startups, and then what they mean by the last one is that you're going to get all kinds of answers, but don't be afraid to go back to a venture capitalist and investor and say, guess what? License doesn't work, SaaS works. Or SaaS doesn't work, license works. Or viral marketing is the only way to go. Or viral marketing will never work. We've got to do direct sales. So you have to be prepared to communicate what the truth is, and then rewrite your business plan around it. Yeah. No, early evangelist, early adopter is basically the same. Right? So basically, there's a phenomenal book written by this marketing guy from Silicon Valley called Jeffrey Moore, and it's called Crossing the Chasm. And basically, it was always a mystery to everybody as to how do I take my makes my CPU go twice as fast with the same amount of power consumption. How do I get people to use this product or pay attention to this product? And he said that, basically buyers are divided into 4 or 5 groups. And he said there are early adopters who are early evangelists, and then there are the early majority, then he's got the late majority, and then he's got the laggards. So essentially, we said that the early adopters is just 2%. But they are important to find because those 2% will make your product ready for the big market. They'll also give you data points and case studies that you can put in front of the next people as examples as to why the technology is stable, the market is ready, customers love it, and it's time to move on to this next generation of product that I am launching or I have launched. Right? So only after that entire marketing kit is ready will the early majority show up. And with the early adopters, the market is very small, just 2%. And you won't make any money. If you try to build a company based on selling to early adopters, obviously you're not going to make money because there's no profit to be made. It's only when you can take the same product and sell it to another 40 people without making too many changes that you start making money. And that's the early majority that you get compared to. And once you got the early majority, you got the late majority. And these are the guys who say that, looks like, Tata and Reliance have gone into it, we've got to get into the same thing. So then you go and start working with the late majority, and the laggards are just, the last people, and they automatically use what everybody else is using. So,
I think just take an example of this. Just think about mobile phones in India. When did you start on mobile phones? In India? Sorry? No. Mobile phones started when? 90s? Yeah, mid-90s. And when they started, any idea what was the price of the phone and the price of the service? 16 rupees per minute to make a call, 8 rupees to receive a call, and how much the instrument did it cost? 20,000, 30,000. Okay? So who are the people who bought it? But still people bought that. There were those 2%ers who did buy these mobile phones, right? So from the transition that took place, today how many phones are there in India? 5 crores, 10 crores, 50 crores, 70 crores. Today we have got almost 75 crores of Indians using the phone. That means we have transited entire the innovators, adopters, majority towards the laggards. You can see anyone now to have that.
Okay, so that's the entire customer validation process. And so for next week, for Friday, please go ahead and look at the 2 videos and have your questions on the wiki, okay? Thank you.